Hello, that was an awesome introduction. Thank you so much. It's great to be here today. Hope you're all enjoying Universe. Got to check out the keynote earlier. And today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about GitHub Enterprise. So myself and my colleagues spend a lot of time talking to administrators, people like Keith, who run DevOps tooling for their companies. And we know that you've got a lot to do. And it's pretty hard sometimes. You have to secure all your software and your applications across the supply chain. You need to help your teams to automate workflows so they can focus on what they do best. You need to try and build a culture of collaboration, virtual teams, communities of practice to help swarm around new ideas and products that you want to launch. And of course, you need to make sure that all of the tools you're responsible for are available, secure, and governed. And achieving those things is hard. At GitHub, we have one underlying philosophy for how we help companies, big and small, to achieve goals like these. And that is to empower developers with an integrated platform. And in this talk, I'm going to talk to you about how you can use some of the capabilities in GitHub Enterprise to achieve goals like that. But first of all, what are those capabilities? So those capabilities sit across 4 core pillars: coding, automation, security, and planning. And all of those sit on our kind of secure enterprise foundation that allows administrators to secure your code and access to it and to govern it through policies. It also enables you to build a community and crucially tap into the power of that github.com community. And I'm extremely pleased to say that all of these capabilities are now coming to Enterprise Server, to our thousands of customers running GitHub Enterprise in their own environments. Our Enterprise Server includes GitHub Actions, packages, advanced security code scanning and secret scanning, and also comes with support for our iOS and Android apps. Those apps are amazing. They have more than 1 million downloads, and they're going to enable developers to collaborate, check notifications, approve pull requests from, in bed, in the bath, on a bus, no matter where they are. But GitHub Enterprise sits across the cloud as well. We have a few hundred companies who are using GitHub Enterprise in a hybrid environment. So they're using both Enterprise Server and Enterprise Cloud together. And I'm going to show you some ways today that you can do that. So let's talk first of all about that Enterprise Foundation. So what is an enterprise account at GitHub? For those of you who haven't seen one before, we'll just go through these kind of basics. So an enterprise account is an umbrella around your users and around your organizations. For many companies, it's a way to consolidate different orgs that their teams have spun up in order to create one team and kind of one governed environment. And that secure umbrella for your team comes with a certain set of capabilities that help you secure and govern it. A couple that I'm going to walk through today are new. So verified domains and Git events in the Enterprise Cloud audit log are new capabilities just coming into beta now. So let's hop in and just do a quick demo of that enterprise account. Right, so here we have a Enterprise Cloud account, just a demo one that I have set up, and it has 4 organizations in it. You can have any number of orgs that you want. Some companies have 1, some companies have thousands or even tens of thousands, depending on how they want to manage their company. And each of these organizations can have different security and governance policies applied to them. I can also see all of the people in my company. So here I just have a company of 3 whole people, and I can see some security information about each person. Now, I mentioned that you can use Enterprise in a hybrid way. Here, one of the things you can do if you have both cloud and server is to see all of your users across both environments. And that is enabled through GitHub Connect. If I jump into my security settings, I can have a look at some of those IP security settings. So first of all, the one that most companies set up first is SAML authentication. This delegates authentication to your identity provider. Here I have this set up with Okta. So you can see I could sign in. Of course, it will just sign me straight in. Oh, no, it won't. And that ensures that all of your enterprise assets can only be accessed by people signed in through your IDP. We've also recently added support for automated provisioning and deprovisioning for anyone using Okta. So this means that whenever somebody joins your organization or leaves it, their account will be created or removed automatically. This is particularly great when you're offboarding people and you want to remove access quickly. Their account will be removed from GitHub within minutes when it is removed from your IDP group. IP allow list is one of our more advanced conditional access policies, and it enables you to ensure that your enterprise resources can only be accessed by people in your corporate network. Here I have a couple set up. So moving on, let's have a look at verified domains. So as I mentioned, this is one of our newer features. It's just about to launch in beta. And what this enables you to do is to ensure that no data is lost through the email channel, essentially by verifying domains that you own. If you verify a domain, users will only be able to receive email notifications if they have an email address at one of those domains. So we can just add one briefly. You can see all I need to do is to add this to my DNS record, and then the domain will be verified within a couple of days. Hopping over to that audit log. So of course, the ability to audit the whole enterprise is crucially important. And here we have a single view of all events that are going on across all organizations and all users. As I mentioned, one of the big things that we've been working on this year is to add Git events to the Enterprise Cloud audit log. And I'm just going to show you briefly how that works. So first of all, many of our customers like to query the audit log through the API. We can do that here. Just a quick example. Here, just querying only Git events from my enterprise. And you can see it's bringing up Git fetch events, Git clone, and Git push events from across the enterprise. I can query both Git and GitHub events at the same time if you want to, or just one or the other. You can also export those Git events just here and your GitHub events. Next year, we'll be adding those Git events to this UI as well. Now, let's just hop into one of my organizations. We're going to look at Octodemo platform. So here you can see we have a couple of repos. These are internal repos, which means they're visible by everyone across my enterprise. Internal repos are really the foundation of inner sourcing with GitHub. And one of these repos is building a company wiki. This is a company wiki built on private pages. Private pages, again, is another new feature which is in beta now and which is going to launch for everybody before the end of the year. And what it means is that you can create pages, just as you know and love them with GitHub, which are only accessible by people in your enterprise. And the visibility is built off the visibility of your repo. So this is an internal repo, which means the page built off it is visible by everyone in my enterprise. They're perfect for company wikis. In fact, we use a private page for the GitHub intranet and our engineering wiki. Here's a basic example. One of the other things I really like about private pages is this edit flow. So now, since I have write access on that repo, I can edit the private page directly from here, make changes, commit it, and then those changes will go live within just a couple of minutes. Really nice integrated workflow. and great especially for people who aren't so technical but need to maintain knowledge bases. Let's just go back to my wiki. Just want to touch briefly on some branch protection rules and how we're extending them. You might have seen a little bit of this in the keynote if you managed to watch it. So here I have a couple of branch protection rules set up, which means that any code changes need to be reviewed, first of all, by a third party, and then by my code owners, normally often a security or expert team, before they're merged in. GitHub has also recently expanded the same concept to environment protection rules. So if you're using GitHub Actions for your CI/CD flows, you can put in checks on environment deployments. Just have a quick look at that. Here I have another repo. It's set up with these environments, and my production environment has a environment protection rule, again saying that I need to have a couple of reviewers. Jump over to Actions. We can see a pull request that has been merged in and then deployed through my environments. And as per my rule, it has been approved by me. This is one of the biggest things that we've shipped in the last few months. Chris Pat is doing a talk deep diving into this new experience. I'd really encourage you to go watch it if you can. All right, so let's just hop back here. So there we have done a kind of brief overview of the enterprise account. But we talked a bit about reliability and availability. And we know that for our enterprise customers, this is really your priority number one. And 50 million people rely on GitHub to build and share their code. And the same platform, the same code that powers GitHub.com also powers our GitHub Enterprise offerings. We know from our GHES customers in particular that they're under a lot of pressure to administer this product and make it available to their company. And over the last year, we have been making big changes to work more in the open and more transparently at GitHub. We launched the GitHub Public Roadmap earlier this year. And in this vein, we're now announcing a new change to how we release Enterprise Server. So from Enterprise Server 3.0, we will start every feature release with a release candidate build. That's a build that's gone through full GitHub testing, but one that we're putting out there for you to pick up, test, try, bash around, and give us feedback on. And when we're happy based on your feedback that it is a very stable release, we'll GA it. I think this is going to make a big difference to the overall reliability of the product. And I'm excited for this change. If you have any thoughts on this, love to chat to you about it in a discussion later. So just moving on to those other pillars, I'm just going to do a quick whiz round some of the other main capabilities that you get through GitHub Enterprise. First of all, automation. So GitHub has really built the community standard for automation with GitHub Actions. Sure, you will have seen this before, but Actions is the #1 CI tool on GitHub.com, and it's achieved that status in just a year after launching. And we now have 6,000 actions on the marketplace, which I just think is an amazing testament to how easy it is for developers to build actions. I'm going to show you quickly how you can start using Actions on Enterprise Server to do some very common workflows. All right, so here I have a Enterprise Server 3.0 instance spun up. And I'm going to talk, first of all, briefly about how you can set up some policies across your enterprise. So first of all, I'm going to decide which of my org should have access to Actions. This people usually decide based on managing cost, and I'm going to enable just my ML team to have it. I can also decide whether to allow all actions, including actions from the marketplace, just ones we've built, or select actions, for example, ones created by GitHub. I'm going to allow all actions, and the marketplace actions are going to be available to my private Enterprise Server instance because I have enabled GitHub Connect. So I've mentioned Connect a couple of times. One of the things it does now that we've launched Actions is bring that all of those marketplace actions to make them available on server. I can also set my log retention period. I'm going to make that a long time. I don't want to lose any data. And then I'm going to set up a couple of self-hosted runners. So it's super easy to set up. Takes about 5 or 10 minutes to get all of your runners configured. Again, I can decide whether to make those runners available to the whole enterprise or just selected organizations. So let's just jump in and look at actions working on one of my repos. Here I have a repo set up with a couple of actions workflows already built in. Let's have a look at one of these. So first of all, I have a CI workflow. This CI workflow is going to run on every push or pull request on my self-hosted runners, and it's going to check out my code, run my CI tests. My second workflow is then going to run whenever I create a release. Again, on my self-hosted runners, it's going to check out my code, and it's going to publish a package to my package registry. We can see here the full workflow, search the logs, download them, makes debugging really easy if something goes wrong. If I want to set up a new action, all I do is click here, and immediately I have access to a bunch of templates. I mentioned those GitHub created actions. They're all here. In addition, we also have a template that my org administrator has made for me. It's a ML Team CI workflow. And this is a workflow template that's available across my organization. Next year, we'll be adding enterprise-wide templates as well, which will be great, particularly for companies operating in more high compliance, high governed environments. Alrighty, so let's just go back. The next thing I wanted to cover briefly is security and how you can simplify and automate that. So as kind of Keith talked about just previously, finding and fixing vulnerabilities is really notoriously difficult. And this is very much a structural issue. We have 570 times more developers in the world than security researchers. And as we keep coding, we keep introducing new vulnerabilities. We're not getting any better at just naturally spotting vulnerabilities. So at GitHub, our approach to addressing this problem is to bring that community together with the right tooling to help you secure code. Now, our security capabilities have grown massively over the last year. Advanced Security offers both code scanning and secret scanning, which are automated security scanning tools. And in addition to that, our dependency alerts, automated security fixes, and the advisory database are making sure that both private and open source repos are staying secure. Let's have a brief look again at how this is operating on Enterprise Server 3.0. Okay, so here I have another Enterprise Server instance, and it has a repo set up. The first thing you'll notice is that we have found some security vulnerabilities in my dependencies. Now, this information is coming from the GitHub advisory database, which is on github.com. And it's coming to my private environment, again, through GitHub Connect. So we're bringing actions, we're bringing user information, and we're bringing the security information into your private environment through Connect. I also have those automated security scans running on my pull requests. And here, let's have a look to see what they found. So code scanning has found a few vulnerabilities. First, missing rate limiting. This is a vulnerability that can lead to DDoS attacks or brute force password attacks. CodeQL has found this issue. And the code scanning tool has also given me a bunch of recommendations on what I need to do to fix it. Now you can see all of the source code for these queries in this public CodeQL repo. And the queries here are written by GitHub staff. and by the security researcher community. Here's an example of one that's under development right now, written by Jonathan, who is a GitHub star and a security researcher in Boston. And through code scanning, we're going to bring his knowledge, expertise, and the work he's doing to contribute to this directly to your company. Going back, let's just look quickly at my secret scanning alerts. Secret scanning has picked up that I've put in 2 AWS secrets, and this is a very common way that customer data is stolen. It's let me know that it's found them, and if I've deployed that to production, I can rotate and revoke those secrets. If not, if I haven't deployed yet, hey, it's enabled me to avert what could become a big security breach for my company. Alrighty, so just going to wrap up. Previous slide. There we go. So we've gone through today the GitHub Enterprise platform and how it provides a very integrated community power platform to help companies, administrators, and developers to achieve the kind of goals that we outlined. I hope that was a useful overview for you guys, and looking forward to your questions. Thank you very much.